Hello again. Welcome back to the Flyin Style podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Mitchell, back here with my co-host, Stephen Masley.
What's up?
And we're coming back to you 8-0, once again, undefeated on the season. The Eagles beat the Texans this past week, 29-17. And it was definitely an interesting game. Not 100% sure how I feel about it. Not too upset, not too happy. But let's hear your thoughts first, Mass.
So I feel like there's an overreaction to the game. People say that we struggled. Obviously, we didn't have the cleanest game and we didn't have the best game of our season. However, I'm listening to the radio and it's like acting like we didn't win by 12 points. And it's like, what other team in the league wins by 12 and gets this much criticism of, oh, you guys struggled? Like we're labeled as struggled against this team. And I understand like we did have our moments where it didn't look great. All right. But struggled is not the correct term to use in this game. I think we weren't never going to lose this game. And I don't think it's coming off a short week. Like I don't know, we never get a break. We can't get a break. And I just don't get it, man. I'm not happy with us right now, but like, holy crap, struggled.
No, I disagree. I'm absolutely happy with us right now. I mean, we're 8-0. People need to, stop being such nitpickers about everything. It's, it was a tough week. Coming off the bye, we had a short week. It was a game that we're looking at where everybody was looking at like, yeah, we're gonna win this no matter what. Doesn't even matter how hard we really play. Yada yada. I think that we came in a little lackadaisical, and our run defense obviously looked very poor. Damon Pierce is a rookie this year. He rushed for 27 times for 139 yards and 5.1 per carry. So, averaging 5.1 yards per carry on 27 carries is not a good look for the Eagles defense. And granted, we are missing Jordan Davis, our best run stopper right now. And for most of the game, we were missing Fletcher Cox with an ankle injury, who came back but wasn't really playing at 100%. So, we were missing our two best run stoppers, but it's definitely, this is something that other teams are going to notice going forward. And it's something that has been a bit of a discrepancy in the Eagles defense all year.
No, 100% agree. And I wish the Eagles could take a little bit of a note out of that book and run Miles 27 times, because he was averaging 5.5 yards per carry. And like, he gets the ball 17 times for 93 yards and his tutty. But like, I know they even with them running the ball like that well, they even stopped. Like, Davis Mills did not play well in this game at all. A couple good passes, couple coverage breakdowns that we're going to get into, but they just like stopped running the ball, and I was like, oh, thank God. Like, it gave me like a breath of fresh air. I was like, wow, thank you for giving the ball to that man, because it was like we couldn't stop it. I mean, Hargrave had a great game, probably his best this year, and like, he had 3 sacks, but like you said, our run defense was abysmal. It was non-existent. It was, their O-line isn't that good. It was annoying. That's what annoyed me the most. And it was just like hard to watch.
Yeah. It was definitely a tough game to watch, Thursday night football, the Phillies were on, everybody's watching both games at the same time. And, we're in a tight game on both sides, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, especially as an Eagles fan, 7-0, we're sitting there like, damn, I thought this was going to be an easy game. Like, thought I wasn't going to have to pay attention to this one. And all of a sudden, it's a 14-14 game going into halftime. And, like I said, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. I think that we just kind of, I think you can take the classic excuses saying, short week, playing on a down team, playing down to their level a little bit. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think that obviously, like you said, Javon Hargrave had a monster game, and he's been playing out of his mind the past couple of weeks. So I think he's going to step up with the missing pieces of Davis and, Cox at 100%. And I think that, hopefully Gannon is going to see this game and, try to adjust a little bit and use the fact that we have such a great secondary and stack the box a little bit. Like, our guys can play man coverage. We can play the backside while we stack the box if teams are going to try to run all day on us. we have ways to stop it. That's the only like frustrating part watching us not adjust. You know, like we have the ability to do these things. We have the personnel to stop it. We have the we have everything there set in place, and sometimes we just don't use it. It feels like.
No, it's but the thing is, like, even after giving up 14 points in the first half, we gave up 3 points in the second half. So I know it's 14-14 at halftime, and I understand he's running all over us, but he had like, I don't have the stat pulled up in front of me, but he didn't have nearly as many rushing yards the second half. They kept running him. We definitely stepped up a little bit. I know we started. That's when Maddox kept making stupid plays, and then we got some picks in our own zone backed up. But we did make big plays, and like, I know everyone watches the first half and expects us to be on top the first half. And this was like the week that it was like, wow, we didn't kill them in the second quarter. Like, we're gonna have to like actually play a full game of our style of football. And the reason I'm not worried is because we still put up 29 points on them, and we still dominated the entire game. I know they had their moments. They went up for like, I just don't see how we kind of struggled. I still can't get over it. I can't get over it. I can never get over. Still can't get over it. It just, we dominated the second half, and it's like, you guys stink. Like, just because we didn't have a good first half.
Well, I think all season, no matter what, we're gonna hear the same old thing that's like, "Oh, Mickey Mouse schedule. You guys have the easiest schedule in the league. You're not beating the bad teams. Yada yada." Really been saying yada yada too much lately, but either way, people are gonna keep saying that all year, and then by the time the end of the year comes, that whole narrative is gonna change. Once the season's over and everyone has their records, and they're going to see that we have the most wins against teams over 500 this year. And, obviously coming into the season, our division did bad last year. So we got an easy schedule. The whole division did. That's why the whole division is doing well. That's the way the NFL works. It's the way the NFL has always worked. I don't know why this is such a big surprise to everybody. Like, this is how the schedules get made every single year. And we got given the schedule we're given, and we're beating the teams we're supposed to beat. Doesn't matter how it's happening, or how little or how much we're beating them by. At no point can anyone say the Eagles were scared of losing a game this year. I guess you could say maybe the Cowboys game, the Cardinals game, but at the same time, no one was really worried. No one really thought we were going to lose those. So what's the narrative's going to continue. I also like to say, what's the big idea? What's everybody talking about? But I know what everybody's, saying, but just don't listen into it. The Eagles are 8-0. Everyone's just jealous at this point. There's only so much they can keep talking about. Everybody, the season trends are pretty much set at this point. We're a good team.
No, we have a great roster. We're a good team. And I know you mentioned the run defense being the biggest flaw in this game. I think it was our O-line. They didn't play horrifically, but they didn't play like the best O-line in the league against, especially this D-line. Like, they're not a great D-line, but like that strip sack, that was my Lotta's fault. Like, those are big moments that we probably would have scored. We had no trouble scoring on them. It wasn't my Lotta did struggle. I'll give you that. I did notice my Lotta struggling a lot of the game. He was kind of he was taking deep drop steps and just kind of letting people get by him, without he just wasn't I don't know. He wasn't putting up much in a fight this game. I don't know what was going on with that, but either way, that strip sack, I really don't want to credit to anybody because that looked like a botched play. I thought it was a false start on the play, so I was confused why the snap wasn't even dead. And I think that the players were also just as confused. Hurts didn't look like he was ready for the snap. It was a messed up play, and I don't really want to put that on Mailata. Obviously, he could have done better in keeping his guy out of the backfield, but I think nobody really knew what was going on right there. That's fair. I mean, also we had miscommunication with Kelsey for the first time, multiple times in the game. I know it was only probably 3 or 4 times, 2 to 4 times. I don't remember the exact amount, but we did have a little miscommunication with Kelsey. Was it a touchdown when he snapped it too early?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. Honestly.
But he was snapping the ball like, and it seems at times Hurts wasn't ready for it, and I didn't. It definitely wasn't the environment because we were louder than them. Like I didn't. I know we didn't play it up to our best this week, and I'm just not worried about it. And I don't know why I'm not. Just I haven't been. I was angry every other week, and it's just like one of those weeks where it's like
It's nothing to be.
You're here and you're done. Like it's like
Yeah.
see it. Like you're a bad team and we beat you. Like
Exactly. I agree. So with that all being said, why don't we move on to the next game then? Because there's really not much more to be said. It was, game.
That's it.
Slow game. We still won by 12 points. It wasn't close. Game's over.
That's all we need to say about this game. And that's all that should be said about this game. But we have more
exactly.
All right, going to another team that stinks. I know they've been playing better as of late, but I don't think the Commanders are a good team. I know they won 3 out of their last 4. They beat Green Bay. They just barely. I watched the entire Minnesota game, and their defense is actually stepping up a lot more than anything. Honestly, their D line's playing a little bit better. They're actually getting to the quarterback, and I think that's because you look at the game. They're not putting up like crazy numbers. Just like
no, they're not. Their defense is playing great because the other teams aren't putting up big numbers either. It's a close game every time.
Yeah, like Indianapolis 17-16. You got Green Bay 23-21. That was a very close game, but Green Bay's been falling off a literal cliff. And in Chicago they won, and it's 12-7. Like that was a disgusting game.
I'm surprised Green Bay hasn't lost their coach yet, honestly. But sorry, that's a little irrelevant. Get back to your point.
No, but even like last game, like I was watching the entire game. Taylor Heineke had like that one big pass to Curtis Samuel when everyone saw like the ref blocking that safety. And he only
that should have been a pick.
It could have very well could have, or not at least knocked down because there was 3 guys there and he was underneath one. But he threw for 15 for 28 for 149 yards, a TD and a pick. And these guys aren't even running that well on the ground. I know they had combined, they had 168 or 137 yards rushing last game, but they're not. They're like I'm not scared of Brian Robinson. I'm not scared of Antonio Gibson. Like if they run all over us, then we actually have a problem.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, I don't. This isn't a team that scares me with their run game. Antonio Gibson's a solid guy, but they have no faith in him. Brian Robinson is the guy that they put their faith in, but he hasn't really shown me anything that makes me think that he's anything, like crazy. He looks like a good running back, but he's not, like a shining star as far as I can tell. And that it's a run game that just does not impress me. The thing with the Commanders is honestly they just look better with Heineke at the helm, and I don't really even think that Heineke is a better quarterback than Wentz was. But I think that he just brings like a certain dynamic to the game and to the field that Wentz didn't, and something that these guys kind of just feed off of a little bit differently. And every time I've seen him take an opportunity in the NFL, he comes in and he just looks electric, even when he's not doing much. Like even when he's not producing a ton of stats, he's not throwing for a lot of yards. He'll throw a few picks here and there. For some reason, it looks good. And
you're right.
And honestly, I just think that he just brings a certain dynamic to their game that makes them a little bit scarier of a team. I'm not scared of their run game. I'm not scared of their pass game. I'm not scared of their defense.
You're not scared of Taylor Heineke.
But for some reason, I just think that they have a way of being chippy and and just grinding in there. And I just think that they can stick in the games. And I don't really think this is going to be a close game, but I don't want to see us making similar mistakes that we've been making in some of the past weeks and having it come back to bite us against this team, because this team has really no business playing against us.
No, and if we score on this team, like if we're able to go down and score 25 plus points, It's not. We're not losing the game. By the way, like we're not losing this game. They can't. They're not going to be able to do that on our defense. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. I think I was about to say something crazy. Do I say it?
No, you got to say it. I like when you say crazy stuff,
dude. I think the Texans are a better team than the Commanders. Like I'll say it straight up. I don't think the Commanders are a good football team. I really don't think these guys are a good football team. I'll be straight honest with you. I don't think they're good at football. Like they've been just playing teams in slouches. They played the Bears at home. That was they scored 7 points. All right. So and then there was that whole like, was it a touchdown? Not like the Bears should have beat them. Playing the Packers on a downfall. The Colts are falling off a cliff. Like, and then last week the Vikings just were in a position where they didn't play well. Like they didn't play well at all. Like they should have won that game if they had a good team. Like they're not a good team. They're not even mediocre. They're horrible. Darius said it.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't like. It's not crazy to say, but I can't say that I agree with you. I mean, I think they're a better team than the Texans, but I know what you mean. I don't think that they have like something about like the names they have on their team. Like nobody's really crazy to me outside of like Terry McLaurin. I think that their D line is good. I've said this before. I think that Montez Sweat's good. I think that obviously Chase Young, when he comes back, is a demon. And I think that Jonathan Allen and I'm forgetting the last guy, Deron Payne. I think that they're both very solid players. And I've mentioned it before that the game is won and lost in the line of scrimmage. And in games where teams aren't very good, you think it's an easy game. If their D-line dominates and gets to Hurts, it's going to be a close game. And I hope that's not going to be the case. I don't really think it will. But it's always a worry with teams with good D-lines. A good D-line can make or break the game, no matter what kind of people you have backing up in the secondary and on the offense, whatnot.
I could say that, but think about this. Think about this for a second. It's Monday Night Football in the city of Philadelphia. We're pissed off about the Phillies. We're saying they're struggling. These guys are going to come out firing and just like kill this team. I don't think this is a good team. I think even if they do get the Hurts, I think we're going to be able to get dump outs like Goddard. Like that Goddard drive was great last game. I think that they can't cover AJ Brown, and we finally figured that out. And then like they can't even cover Devonta Smith, and I think he finally does something again. Like this game is like it's a primetime game, and nobody wants to look bad on primetime. So that's usually when the underdog usually starts to step up. And you would think I would be saying like, oh, like Heineke and everyone. I think I used to like Heineke until now. I just don't like him. I just don't like how he gets any credit because he's not good.
Well, that's the thing. I was trying to I didn't really have the right words of explaining it when I was trying to say it. Like I don't think that he's that good of a quarterback. I really just think the only thing that makes him look good is the dynamic that he brings with him.
Is that they play better with him?
They just play better with him at the helm, like they have, and it's just I don't think that he's a stellar quarterback. I don't think he has a great arm. I don't think that he's very accurate. I don't think that he makes great decisions, but he just brings an extra level of excitement to the field, and the guys just kind of rally around it.
That's fair. But he's definitely throwing a pick.
I think so. I really just think that it's kind of crazy to think, but the Eagles are still kind of finding their footing in this season. Just in the past few weeks, so they're just starting to realize they can just toss the ball to AJ Brown, which is awesome. I don't know why it took them so long, but they can literally just toss it up to AJ Brown, and they're I'm still sticking with the same things. Run the ball, use the middle of the field, and set up plays. I do hate that we don't set up plays. We don't run under center. We don't use it to set up play actions. We don't use the short ball to set up the deep ball. We've got guys that aren't going to drop that are going to get the ball. They're going to get the runs after the catch. and we should be running not just slants, but like digs and curls and just anything, like any quick stop and go routes where they can just get the ball and run with it.
These guys can create so much space, Matt. Look at, remember Devonta Smith in this game on, I forgot what week it was, 4 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
8 for 169 on the tutty. You could throw it up to him. And it, like you said, these guys, he might be a better route runner than AJ Brown. And that's crazy to say. Like, just strictly route running. I'm not going to anything else. But like, it's like, and that's like, because I think AJ Brown's the top 5 receiver in the league. So that's hard to like.
I agree.
Hard to compare him to things. But I just think that we could dominate this team and we should dominate this team. And if we don't dominate the team, then it's a struggling point. I think it was a bad week. I think it was just a setup week. And I know I forgot to mention the Texans segment because it just occurred to me with the running under center. Dude, when we run under center, we get like 8 or 9 yards. Like it's just because we do it, like, because other teams are like, oh, they're never going to run under center. And then when we do it, it works. Like, can you do it like maybe like 10 times? Like, just try it.
I will continue to stand by. I do not understand why we like jump away from things that we have success with. Like there are multiple things we've had plenty of success with this year where we have shown no sign of it being slowed down at all, and then we'll just go away from it and do something else, like start running RPOs and start running like read options and stuff. And like I get it, like it's like I get you got to keep your opponent on your toes and all, and like I'm sure those things wouldn't have such great success rate if we were using them all the time, but I'm the kind of person that thinks that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that you should use it until they stop it. So, I mean, I personally want to see them stop it before we get, like, jump away from anything like that. Like, if we're running the ball and we're picking up 5 yards to carry, run it until he gets to the end zone or they stop him from getting, like, a first down. Like, bottom line. I would be okay with it if we didn't pass the ball once. But that's just me. I just think that, obviously I don't think we should run the ball every time. I think that we should use an obvious balance of it, but I just think that, Miles Sanders has been a 5 yard per carry guy over his entire career. Give him the freaking ball.
That's give him 20 touches.
Yeah. Just give him 20 touches. That's
we're not able to get past like
I can't remember the last time he's got over 20 touches. I think it happened once this season, but
do you want to hear something outrageous I heard on the radio? Actually, talk about ain't broke, don't fix it. So Frank Reich gets fired from the Colts, right? What do you think every caller's saying? Like as soon as he gets fired, I'm just happy. Bring him back. Come on, he lost the Super Bowl. I'm like, God, I just don't understand how the radio is deal with him. It was like 5 calls in a row, and I was like, dude, like, we're 8-0 with Sarkisian. Like, he's doing fine. Like, I like his play calling. Like, are you serious? Like, you want to, like, what? That just boggled my mind.
Yeah, no, we're not moving anywhere from Steichen. And on top of that, like, if he's going anywhere, Frank Reich, maybe he'll go to the Jags. Maybe Dougie P will pick him back up.
Exactly. That's what the guys on the radio were saying. They're like, go to Dougie P. We don't need you. We're good. We're good right now. We're 8-0. We're okay.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. How crazy is it they're really taking a guy? I love Jeff Saturday. I know he's like a Hall of Fame center and all, but how crazy is that? No coaching experience taking him.
So, and I know it's just like, even he asked during the interview, I saw an interview with Saturday, and he was like, why do you think I'm qualified for this job? And they basically were just telling him, like, you have the good attitude, you have this and that. Like I know
that's not exactly what it takes to be a head coach.
I know he was a staple to that team, but like, you got a guy like another player on that's been a part of the coaching staff, and Reggie Wayne. That's not like he's not a big role type guy. But like, where did you pull Jeff Saturday from to make it be like, oh, he's our head coach now?
I mean, I guess like it's kind of a project because they're already kind of tanking the season a little bit, I guess. But everything they had planned for this season went south. They pulled in Matt Ryan, they benched him immediately. Frank Reich's gone. They're throwing in a coach that's never coached before. They're kind of in a spot where they're like, I think, their running back that was the number 1 in the league has become non-existent somehow.
He's been hurt.
Yeah, I know, but he wasn't even in the games he's been playing. He's been non-existent
because they're somehow their line is crumbled down to nothing. Anyway,
exactly.
We're not talking about the Colts here.
Yeah. So my bottom line is they're just running a project over there. They're just gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I have one stat to say about Slay. I know I sent it to you. Just to show much. I just want to show my Slay appreciation on this podcast because I didn't even get into how much I hated Maddox in the last game. But Slay appreciation stat of the week. Since week 6, he has 117 coverage snaps. He's allowed 15 yards on 117 snaps. And he has a pick, and he is allowed a 10.7 passer rating. Thank you, Darius Slay, for being on our team.
Dude, yeah, I couldn't be happier that we have Slay.
Weird second, but I wanted to get that stat in there.
There were so many years that as an Eagles fan that I watched the Eagles just with absolutely zero secondary and just wishing that we just had a good corner for once. And Slay finally, satisfied that need. And I'm just so grateful to have him. And I also wanted to point out that speaking of giving out, some kudos, we haven't really talked much about Jalen Hurts lately because he's just been that good. But first of all, I want to point out that I think that he's, especially after the week that Josh Allen just had, I think that he's the front runner for MVP, first of all, in my book. Not just as a biased fan, I think that he should be the MVP. And I just wanted to point out some of his stats and what he's on pace for. And I just wanted to say that, first of all, he's on pace for about 70 completion percentage, about 4,500 yards passing, and about 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And he's projected to finish with about 110 passer rating, and not to mention that he's also projected to finish with about 700, 800 rushing yards.
Yeah.
To cherry on top, about 12 rushing touchdowns.
And not to mention, this man gives one of the coolest speeches I've seen of the quote of, "I've been an undefeated team before, and we lost in the national championship." How much more of a dog do you have to be leading your team to know that he doesn't give a crap what his rating is right now? He doesn't care that we're 8-0. It's 0-0 every single week to this man. This man, Jalen Hurts, I love you, dude. And I don't know why. I don't even know if I ever doubted you, but I doubted you. I have to say I'm sorry because you are great, and now you're being underappreciated, which is actually crazy.
Hey man, it really does make me happy because I'm one of the few people that never gave an inch on him. I've always had faith in Jalen Hurts, and I'm glad to see that he's finally, getting the kudos he deserves because he has just been the heart and soul of this team, and he's going to continue to be for a long time.
One other when you mentioned MVP race, I know Josh Allen just hurt his UCL in his elbow, so that's not good. But so he's kind of dropping out. He's probably out this week. But Patty Mahomes been very good. He's been. I understand if we finish with the best record in the league, I have no doubt. My vote would be Jalen. But Patty's been playing extremely well. He has the most passing yards in the league. He's been slinging the ball 50 plus times a game. It's been all him over there. They can't run the ball, and he's been playing very well too.
Yeah, so obviously Patty Mahomes is Patty Mahomes. He is that dude. He is Timothy. He's that guy. But the thing that irritated me about him, at least in the MVP race right now, is that I actually saw a post from ESPN on Instagram that was saying for the past few weeks, the MVP race, I forget which analyst it is that's been putting out his MVP race. Josh, I forget. No, not RG3. It was it's Mike McShay or something like that. I forget.
Okay.
Either way, Josh Allen has been the number 1 every week. Jalen Hurts has been the number 2, and Mahomes has been the number 3. And then come into this week, and Josh Allen has a bad week, and then all of a sudden, the rankings are Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, and I was like, "What the heck? What did I was like, Mahomes almost just lost to a rookie quarterback that threw for 80 yards on the game." And granted, he had an awesome. I know Mahomes had an incredible game, but like, give me a break, man. Like this whole time, everybody's been saying like the person to beat is Josh Allen, but now that Hurts is playing better than Josh Allen, now the person to beat is Mahomes. Like, it drives me nuts, dude. I feel like nobody can give Hurts any credit. Like,
this is the Hurts and the entire Eagles team are always going to be below the Chiefs and the Bills, and it doesn't matter what they do, Matt. The Chiefs lost to the Colts, okay? If we kill the Colts and we keep going, like, I don't know what I have to, we're not going to be able to do anything.
I know.
Because they're just like LeBron and they're Zion, and but I'm not like, it's annoying, and it's like, oh, now the Chiefs are the best team. Like no, we're still number one. You silly gooses. Like, I had a TikTok comment. I had to go at this guy because he's like, obviously, like, it's not the Eagles being the best team in the league. And so I got 200 replies to that comment of saying no, and everyone's saying easiest schedule. And I'm like, well, then I point out their losses, and I go, oh wait, we beat the Vikings. Aren't they 7-1? And well, they're a fake team too. We can't do anything.
You know, it's a little early to say this, but the Eagles are 6-0 against teams over 500 this year. So, we talked about it. You know how I feel. I think, teams are gonna, teams just want to, pick on it until the end of the season. And then, once the season's over, they'll be like, oh, dude, I knew you guys were a great team all year. I don't know what you're talking about.
The worst.
But yeah, we really need to move on. We're taking a little long here, so
yeah, sorry about that.
We still haven't actually given our predictions on the Commanders game. So you should go first. What do you think that the score is going to be for this week's game?
So I think it's going to be 32-12. I don't know how they're going to get 12, but they're going to get 12. So I think we're going to come out and do similar to what we did the first game against them. I think we're going to come out strong in the second half. I don't think we're going to play as much murder ball in the second quarter and put up 24 points. And that was our entire game last time. But I think we spread out the first half. I think we're up like 14-3 at half-ish. And then we just cruise from there. We just keep driving into them. And then we put on a show for our crowd on Monday night, which they deserve. And I think that we kill them. I think we win by 20.
Yeah, I mean, your mind's pretty much right in the same spot as mine is. My first thought for the score prediction is I think it's going to be 31-10. I think that our defense is going to want to come out and make another statement, coming off the short week. People were talking about, oh, they didn't kill the Texans. Yeah, I think they're going to be a little pissed off about it. And coming against the Commanders that kind of feel high and mighty right now, like they think they're doing something. I think
exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I think that our defense is going to shut them down, and I think that our offense is just going to do the same old that it always does and just produce. So I'm going to say 31-10 for my score prediction.
Like it. What's Matty Mitch's money slate this week? Because I'll read the records so that you don't have to put your little Matt Mitchell's winning the record, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
So the records for this week for the entire year so far. Matt is 11-17-2. And I am an abysmal piece of poopy doo-doo at 8-20-2. So you remember, guys, he's 3 games ahead of me. So now I got to start trying because I don't want to lose all my hair. So I have to start winning. I have to start actually like winning. So, and we've been in this spot before. Dig me a grave. I'll dig myself out of it.
And this dude claims to have an easy picks page, and he has 20 losses on the season. It's unbelievable, honestly.
13-12-4 on there. That sucks. I'm one game above 500, and I'm angry about that.
So basically, what we're gathering from this is that Masley's a loser, but we're probably gonna have him shaving his head at the end of the year. We're liking our lead right now. So we're gonna keep it rolling and
sit comfortable. Sit comfortable in your high and mighty chair, you scrunchiest king. Watch the underdogs come out from the ground and throw you off your throne. Damn, I sounded like such a weird guy there. All right, give me your picks since you're such a winner.
All right, on the Money Mitch slate this week, we're gonna start with Thursday Night Football, and I'm gonna go with the Falcons -2.5 versus the Panthers. I don't think there's a whole lot to be said there. The Panthers barely have a quarterback. They have like a half a quarterback. They lost McCaffrey. They've been a mess all year. I just do not think that they're a good team. I know they've been able to keep it in a couple games, but I don't see it. So for my next game, I'm going to go the Cowboys -4.5. I just think the Cowboys are a good team this year. I hate to say it. I do not think they're anywhere near the Birds, of course, but I have some pretty good faith in them against the Packers this week. I don't think they're going to have too much trouble with them. For my third pick, I'm going to go with my underdog, and I'm going to go with the Cardinals +1.5. I do not think they're going to have too much trouble. I thought that the line was a little bit too close, honestly. And honestly, I'm blanking at the very moment on who they're even playing.
The Rams.
So, yeah. So I picked that game pretty confidently because I just really don't think the Rams have been a good team this year. They've been a mess. The Super Bowl hangover to end all Super Bowl hangovers. They've got no coordination. They've not been picking up big plays. I think they're crap, and I think that the Cardinals are going to walk in there and take a dub from them away. And for my last pick, I'm going to go with the Giants -5. And I just think that the Giants also, unfortunately, are a good team, as much as I hate to say it. So, yeah, I just think they're going to come away with that one.
I hope the Texans beat them straight up.
Yeah, I don't think that the Texans are quite a great team. So I'm feeling a little safe about that one, but you know how my safe picks tend to go around here. So
on your first safe pick, I'm going to be on Thursday night. I'm going to go with the abysmal silly gooses of the Carolina Panthers. Now, there is only one reason I am taking +2.5 on this game, and that is because Atlanta sucks at defense. And they are so bad at defense that they are somehow going to find a way to lose this game. I wish Baker was starting this game because this would be like the Baker comeback moment of, oh, look, I'm Baker Mayfield. Like, I'm actually good. And everyone's like, is he actually good at quarterback? And then he goes back to being bad. But yeah. So we're going to take them, even with PJ Walker. Temple U. I'm not very happy about that pick, but the Falcons stink anyway. Cordero Patterson's going to have like 3 touchdowns, by the way, but whatever. Anyway, going on to my next pick, my underdog pick, it's going to be the Broncos +2.5. They're playing Tennessee. I know Tennessee had a great game last week against Chiefs. They stood in there and fought in there. I think that the Denver run D is going to be able to shut them down, even without Bradley Chubb. They're coming off a bye, so they have a lot of time to prepare for this game, and I think I'm taking Denver +2.5.
I like that pick a lot. I wanted to do that pick too. I think that the run defense is gonna shut down because if you shut down Derrick Henry, then the team's spent.
That's Mike Vrabel's like, we have one guy on our team and it's Derrick Henry. And do you see that whole speech? I can't relate perfectly.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. The next pick I'm going with is the Bills -3.5. They're playing the Vikings this week, and Josh Allen's probably not gonna be starting. However, their backup quarterback is a guy that wants revenge for going away from this team. His name's Case Keenum. And the Bills are at home against this Vikings team that needs another loss because they don't deserve to be near us. They don't even deserve to be within one game of us. So they're going to lose because we want the number 1 seed. And Buffalo is going to show that their defense is actually good at football, and they are actually good at football. And it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. Well, it does matter who's playing quarterback. But Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs are going to reunite that chemistry they had back in Minnesota and beat Minnesota.
Yeah, well, when Mansley starts using his mystical voice, that usually is a bad sign. So I would stay away from that game if I were you guys, but only because of Mansley's voice, because you don't no, you don't like that.
Yeah, Case Keenum. Next pick is the Birds. We're going -11. We're taking 11 points because we're going to win by 20. I don't care. I don't think the Commanders are a good team. We said in this episode, I'm that confident in that. So those are my picks.
All right. Well, like he said, one more time, I'm 11-17-2 on the season. He is 8-20-2 on the season. So if he ends the season with less wins than I do, then he will have to shave his head on live. So make sure you're staying tuned with that, and we will keep you updated on our records going forward.
Yeah, we got a lot of weeks left. Lucky number 8, baby. We're back.
Yes,
we're back. We're trying.
Hey, it ain't over till it's over.
It ain't over till someone sings. Maybe not a fat lady this time. But let's go.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. We're going to catch you guys for the game on Monday, and we'll be back again next Wednesday with another recap and review of the next coming game. And yeah, 8-0, go Birds. Let's shoot for 9, and let's keep rolling, baby.
Rest in peace, Phillies.
Yeah, that's a hard piece. RIP to the Phils, brilliant season, but let's make up for it with the Eagles. So,
yes, sir. Eagles,
all right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.